Hello, I'm Darwin Fote, physical therapist and owner of Evolution Physical Therapy and Fitness in Los Angeles, California. Today we're going to go over exercises, simple exercises you can do at home for low back pain. As always, the best thing to do if you have low back pain is to consult a physical therapist to get a very individualized assessment on exactly what's going on with your back so that they can deliver exercises specific for you. If you have any pain with any of these exercises we're going to go over today, make sure and stop doing them and consult a physician. So today we're here with professional triathlete Rebekah Keat, who's here to help us with these exercises that you can do at home. So most of you may have heard that in order to cure low back pain, you need to work the core muscles. So let's go over quickly what exactly core muscles mean to us as a physical therapist. So most people think of core muscles as your abdominals, which they are. Most people think of abdominals, they think of the six-pack muscles that run right up and down here that are responsible for a crunch. They're great looking muscles, but not necessarily the best muscles to help cure your low back pain. So when we think of core, what we're talking about is the muscles that expand from the diaphragm all the way down to the pelvic floor on either side of the obliques, and increasingly in the literature we're learning that the glutes, the glute max, glute medius, your butt muscles are really effective at helping reduce low back pain. So Rebekah today is going to help show you about 6 or 7 exercises that you can do at home to help reduce the pain and stress that you're having on your back. So Rebekah, go ahead and lie down on your back. The first thing she's going to do is go over a hamstring stretch. So you can just get a simple yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a belt or roll up a towel. She's going to just lift that leg up in the air. Her opposite leg is going to be flat down on the ground, and she's going to feel a nice gentle stretch on the back of her leg here. When these hamstring muscles are tight, it can alter your low back position and cause a lot of tissue stress on the muscles and the joints of the low back. You want to hold these stretches for about 20 to 30 seconds and repeat 2 to 3 times on each leg. Great. Next exercise is a stretch for what we call the piriformis muscle. It's a muscle in the posterior part of the hip, and it's commonly can cause a lot of tightness and pain in the low back. So what she's going to do is cross her right leg over the left leg, pull her left knee up toward her chest, and from here she can also use her elbow to kind of push the right knee out a little bit more to accentuate the stretch. Again, she's going to hold this for about 20 to 30 seconds. 2 to 3 times on each side. And if you don't have the flexibility to reach all the way up to the leg, again, you can take your yoga strap or belt and drop it behind the knee as she crosses the right leg over the left leg and then pulls it up that way. The next exercise is probably the most important exercise for strengthening the low back as we continue to progress the intensity of the exercises. What it involves is contracting the correct muscles that are important for strengthening the low back. This muscle is called Transverse Abdominis. It's a deep muscle that lies deep underneath those six-pack muscles that look so good. Why the transverse abdominis is so important is because it wraps all the way around the body and attaches to the spine. So think of it as your interior corset or your interior brace that's really going to help stabilize the spine and reduce the tissue stress and pain in your low back. So what Rebekah's going to do is just think about pulling her belly button up and underneath her rib cage. Go ahead and do that. So you can see that the pelvis just rocks back just very slightly. And what we're doing is engaging those muscles and again creating that strength and stability in the low back, and relax. So she's going to hold this for about 5 seconds. Go ahead and pull up and in again. Beautiful. So you can see again, just that contraction is just helping to pull the pelvis back a little bit and release. Really important with this exercise to make sure you're continuing to breathe. Pull the abdominals up and in. Looks good. If you just do a quick inhalation, the diaphragm is going to engage, and that's not what we're looking for with this exercise. Again, just holding it for about 5 seconds, doing 10 repetitions of those. This exercise is very important, again, as we progress to the more advanced exercises. We need to make sure that these are engaged throughout. Okay. To advance from this exercise, we're going to move into bridging. So Rebekah's going to pull the abdominals up and in. We're going to hold that, and from here she's going to lift her hips up in the air And as she comes down, she needs to make sure she's still engaging the transverse abdominis as she lays her back one vertebrae at a time back to the ground. She's going to release, pull the abdominals up and in, lift the hips up in the air, and back down, nice, slow, and controlled. Beautiful. Start out with sets of about 10 repetitions. As you start to feel stronger, you can move up and do 15 or 20 repetitions. Has to be pain-free. Excellent. Okay, the next exercise we like to call dying bugs because it does look like a bug that's dying. So Rebekah's going to put her hands down by her side. Abdominals pull up and in. We're engaging those transverse abdominis. Now she's going to lift her right arm and her left knee up in the air and then switch. So what we're looking for here is for her to maintain this contraction, not let the back arch or press down flat. She's doing a great job here again. So what we're seeing here is a strong abdominal core and the extremities able to move seamlessly because of that strength and stability. Very good. The last exercise for these beginner low back exercises are what we call clam shells. And what this is going to strengthen are the gluteus medius, which are the muscles on the outside of the hip here. So Rebekah's going to turn to her side, making sure that she stacks her hips up here. What tends to happen with most of our patients is their hips will rock backwards, and now we're using the wrong muscle. So from here, again, engaging transverse abdominis. Beautiful. She's going to hold that contraction throughout the exercise, lift her leg up in the air, and come back down nice, slow, and controlled. Again, this looks like a clam shell, so that's why we call them clams. Good. Abdominal pull up and in. Start with 10 repetitions. Once you find a little more strength, then we're going to progress to about 15 or 20 repetitions. Looks great. Okay guys, that's all we've got for you today for the beginner low back strengthening exercises. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing some more intermediate and advanced strengthening exercises, so make sure you master these first and then click on our other videos to continue to strengthen your low back.